After I finished my all dungeons no armor video, I thought it would be a funny idea to say this.
Dungeons, make sure to like the video, and if the feedback...
Fuck you, Jacob, in the past. And by saying that, I did not assume that I would get double the amount of likes I asked for, but we got it anyway. As promised, I attempted all corrupted dungeons without armor. As I did in the last video, I will not be using the following: armor, craftable items, or craftable consumables, or playing the dungeons with another person. There will also be no level cap this time, as these dungeons do not fuck around. So I, a man who definitely fucks, will not fuck around either. We strip naked like we are at a nightclub in New York, and as usual, we have no plan. I assumed using the same thing as I did for the previous challenge would be sufficient enough, so that's exactly what I did. So I equipped the same equipment I used with the same weapon, and headed to the first corrupted dungeon, Corrupted Decrepit Sewers. Now, I have done about 18 forgery runs before doing the no armor challenge, as I am working on a top secret video in the background of doing all of these challenges, so I have learned the tricks and treats of the corrupted dungeons. Through my knowledge, I have found Witherhead to be a bit of a pain. He doesn't have that much health, to be honest, but he does hit like a truck in about any enemy backstory scene. So, with the knowledge of 1,000 men, we beat Witherhead and move on to Corrupted Infected Pits. Now, I love Infected Pits, okay? Simply because of the fact that the boss is a fat-ass MILF who could get it any day of the week. But Corrupted Infected Pits has a bit of an issue with deciding to actually start the boss fight. It just doesn't work on a solid 1-to-3 ratio. So, if any member of the content team is actually watching this video, please fix it. Besides my plea to get this dungeon fixed, this dungeon is significantly more difficult than most of the other dungeons here because of 3 simple things. 1, it doesn't automatically track the kills like it does in the updated version of the Infected Pits, so you have to get tokens for pretty much every combat room. 2, everything shoots their sticky, juicy, slimy webs at you. And 3, I lied, there's no 3, just saying 3 things are difficult sounds better than saying 2 things are difficult. We managed to get back to Torturous first room and head to the final combat room. As stated previously, everyone shoots come at you in this dungeon, so you have to be very, very careful. I grinded my tokens in the entrance room before flying past everything to get to the end. We enter the boss room of an absolute baddie with the thickest trunk I've ever laid my eyes upon, and proceed to give her a, how do I say, the best. After annihilating the pussy of a spider, we head to Corrupted Time Sanctuary, the best dungeon in the game. Yeah, you know how absolute dog shit normal Time Lost Sanctum is? Well, this is the old dungeon, and it's fucking gas, baby! Hey, random 56574, you and your Time Lost Sanctum enthusiasts better square the fuck up, cause you're wrong, bitch! This is the best dungeon! Fight me! We enter the time dungeon, and due to the infused anger due to random 56574 and his blasphemous comment, we blow through the dungeon, get to the boss, and get absolutely scorched by his flames. This boss is what most call a gimmick boss. Jacob! What's a gimmick boss? Oh, I'm glad you asked, yacht. A gimmick boss is a boss that has to be killed in one intended way, otherwise the boss is unkillable. The gimmick is, you have to wait for creepers to spawn, kill them, put the TNT the creepers drop into the center of the boss room. Once 9 TNT is collected, the boss drops into the middle and dies. This was a bit of an issue because the fire spread attack he does is an instant one-shot. And, you know, I, a naked man, cannot take back shots this profusely. So I had to tread very, very carefully. By using my mana potions and doing 1 TNT at a time, I was able to avoid the fire barrage, dump his ass into lava, and complete the dungeon without any other issues. I wasn't worried about a Corrupted Crypt or Corrupted Sandswept at all. These dungeons on their own are pretty simple, and the corruption variants don't change the dungeon that much. The only interesting thing I have to note is you can actually skip the first 3 unkillable bosses in a Corrupted Crypt by flying up to the ceiling, holding up to the ceiling for a few seconds, and the 3 unkillable bosses just completely despawn. Other than that, these 2 were pretty easy. Ice Barrows was the one I was the most worried about. And by God, did I have every right to be worried. I got absolutely destroyed in this dungeon. more times than ILO Snow's current STX cache. Ice Barrel's biggest hurdle was actually the very first room, as there are these little eyes that spawn in the ceiling, in the walls, and on the ground that shoot ice pellets at you, dealing a shit ton of damage. They wouldn't be an issue if shurikens one-shot them, but through multiple weapon combinations, shurikens can never actually one-shot them, and after 4 deaths, I really didn't know what to do, as I thought there was nothing else I could do. Then, it hit me. Defense. Defense is the tank stat of Wynncraft. The more defense stat you have, the less damage you take. Most defense-based items also come with an increased defense and a health stat. With this information, I thought to completely full send a defense build in hopes I would be tanky enough to survive the eyes. I head over to the legendary island and buy a diamond solar necklace, 2 diamond solar rings, and a gold solar bracelet. Don't judge me, okay? I didn't want to do another legendary island completion, so we're just going to have to deal with a gold solar bracelet. For my weapon, I grabbed an Inferno and offhanded Amadeus, and the plan was to not fail. Hey, really quick, if you're enjoying the video, please make sure to subscribe and follow the Twitch too. I stream all my Wynncraft challenges on Twitch, so feel free to stop by. Okay, thank you. Back to the video. To test that this build actually would work, I did a corrupted overgrown runes run first. Yeah, I don't know why I thought that would be a good idea, but we actually did a run and we completed it without any actual issues. So that was a bit weird. We went back to Ice Barrows with an astute amount of confidence. We enter Ice Barrows and tread very, very carefully. Even though we had 6,000 health, that 6,000 health regenerates at about the pace a Skyrim Fan 1 takes to respond to my Discord DMs. So we spend 4 minutes in the first room, but eventually get out of there and head to the ice parkour. We complete the parkour and the 32 token room. We gather the tokens needed, enter the boss room, and fucking die. Yeah. We don't make it. I thought all hope was lost after this death. I did the planning. I did the research on the best defense items, and I could come up with nothing else. But we go in one more time for the sake of my sanity and for the sake of this challenge. We go through the dungeon again, and we beat it, baby! Yeah! The boss fight took like 8 minutes, though, but we don't talk about that. Since we beat Corrupted and Overgrown Ruined when we wanted to test our new build, all we had left to do was actually do Galleon at Graveyard. And let me tell you, after defeating Ice Barrows, I was not worried about this fucking dungeon at all. You could just skip through some of the rooms of the dungeon, and I, as the Chad that I am, did indeed use these skips, because I have no shame. We enter the dungeon and skip through the TNT section by having a /class hotkey and pressing it while going down both gates. Doing so pushes your character through the gate. The same idea also applies to the X on the floor. Doing this might seem slower, and honestly, it might be because I'm really bad at these skips, but it's infinitely more safe than actually attempting to do the TNT room the intended way. We take care of the Megalodon room, the Cannon room, and the Piranha room with relative ease. We get to the room where you have to fight the 3 lackeys and make sure to take out the ranged attacker first, then we worry about the other 2. We kill them, head into the boss room. Now, I wasn't worried for the boss, I just assumed it would take an ungodly amount of time. And I was right. We kill the boss and complete Corrupted Dungeons, no armor. Thank you guys for watching, it means a lot. 30 likes for Legendary Island, no armor, and 40 likes for QIRA HIVE and Legendary Island, no armor. Thank you for watching, take care, and goodbye.